Hey guys, welcome back to the return of WrestleCast. I'm Jay Leo, and today I'm here, a very special guest, Hanna Henderson. How are you doing today, Hanna?
Hi, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit and just kind of get a good idea of like who you are as a performer and as a person, and just let everyone get to know you a little bit. I met you once before at a show, the PPW show, Concrete Jungle.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, we were doing a little news report thingy, which
Yeah,
was
that
fun.
was awesome.
That was a cool experience to see backstage, kind of behind the scenes with everybody,
Oh yeah.
and meet everybody. I remember when we talked last, you had just were you just graduating high school or doing your senior year of high school?
I was doing my senior year of high school, and to be honest, I'm still doing my senior year of high
Oh, cool.
school. um, school sometimes can be poopy, but you know what?
Oh yeah,
You gotta get it done.
yeah,
Gotta get it done.
yeah, exactly.
Rather later than never, though.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, I wanted to start off with just kind of how it all began. I mean, every good story should start at the beginning. So,
Okay, so basically, I started watching wrestling when I was 16, which is only like a couple years ago. Um, I'd say probably 3 years now, though, because it's been quite a while. My friend's mom actually introduced it to me. We were just chilling, and she turned on WWE. She turned on WrestleMania 34.
oh wow,
And I know, you're used to people growing up watching it, right? As a
yeah,
kid, loving
yeah,
it, right? No, not me. That's not the case. What happened? But I just sat down because I've always knew what wrestling was, but I never really got into it until then.
hmm
And I just sat down and watched it and loved it.
yeah,
So yeah, and I just basically watched a lot of WWE since then.
hmm
And then basically what happened was that we were gonna go to a SmackDown show,
yeah,
and tickets are a lot of money.
yeah, yeah. Yes, they
Um,
are.
and they're even a lot for the nosebleed section. So
hmm
my grandma was like, "Hey, so there's this show in Flint, Pure Pro Wrestling," and I was like, "Okay, we can try it out. I mean, it's not Sami Zayn, but we
Yeah.
can definitely try it out." So we went, and I really enjoyed the first show that they had. I don't remember what that show was called, but it
Mhm.
was in July, I believe. I believe it was in July. Um, and then we went to the Manistee show,
Yeah.
and the Manistee show was really like, I kind of want to do it. I want to try it because it looked fun. And I didn't think you could actually do it until they said they had training available. So
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So tried it out, and here I am,
Yeah.
a year and a half later.
Was that like? Did you have a career that you were like wanted to do before you kind of ran into pro wrestling?
Not at all. So
No.
this definitely helped me with wanting what I really wanted to do, what I really want to do. Um, and that's definitely, follow my dreams, follow the dreams, and turn my dreams into a reality, and hopefully get signed one day.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of how I. It's funny that was kind of how you got into pro wrestling because I didn't know what I wanted to do either, and
Yeah.
I was literally at my house and my brother had turned on an episode of Raw with Chris Jericho, Enzo, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte, and they were cutting a promo at each other, and I was like, "What is this? Like, what am I
It
watching
is.
right now?" And I'm like, why is that guy wearing a scarf and like underwear? What is going on? But
What
then
is
ever
going on?
since then, I was like, oh yeah, this is it.
This is it. This is it. Yep. You just
Um,
kind of know.
so you mentioned it's not Sami Zayn. I'm assuming Sami Zayn has he been your favorite so far?
Yes, absolutely. Sami Zayn is a big inspiration to me, and he's probably the one that really wanted me to try and do it because I always felt like the underdog.
Yeah,
And I look at him for inspiration. So he's definitely the biggest inspiration for me.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Now,
Like you're probably like used to like people like Hulk Hogan or
yeah, yeah.
older, but no,
Hmm.
Sami Zayn for sure for me.
Yeah, I mean, we're growing up at the time in wrestling where some of the icons of like the other generation they're not really around, so we start
Right,
picking up the icons of the current generation. I mean, instead of it being like you said, the Hogan or the Rock, we get Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, you know.
right, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's really cool. So how long have you been wrestling?
I have been training since August
Hmm.
of last year.
Oh,
So, it's been probably a year and a half,
a year and a
roughly in
half.
there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in that year and a half, where have you been? Like, where have you all wrestled at?
So I've wrestled obviously for PPW,
Hmm.
Pure Pro Wrestling. And then I wrestled for Championship International Wrestling, which is another promotion here in Michigan. Um, I have been, well, I was supposed to do a Rising Action.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, but COVID happened, so that didn't happen.
Yeah,
But that will happen.
that sucks.
Um,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I've been basically a lot around the Michigan area.
Hmm.
And I was actually able to go to Texas for wrestling,
Wow.
through the AIWF. And that was all honestly thanks to A7s, and the Nomads.
Mm.
Um, and I'm also wrestling regularly for Flap House in Indiana. So, yeah,
That's
that's on
awesome.
IWTV, by the way. Use code Flaphouse for 5 days free.
Cool. I was actually you mentioned COVID happening, so you couldn't go. Where did you say? Rising.
Uh, Rising Action,
Yeah, I
yes.
was so. As an independent wrestler, how have you like managed to continue doing what you love through this pandemic? I mean, I'm sure it's hard. It's been definitely hard for everybody, but
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot, obviously, there are a lot of shows that are not happening because of the pandemic.
yeah.
And that's obviously a lot of opportunities gone from some wrestlers. But this actually pandemic, it's it's a new normal. So
Hmm.
it's actually I feel like it's actually helped me get more opportunities. And I know that's weird to say, but
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine certain things like certain because like everything happens for a reason. I believe that
Hmm.
100%. So basically, yeah, I think the pandemic has definitely actually helped me get more opportunities.
That's really cool. I mean, that's probably I mean, it's cool that it didn't stop you from still doing what you love to do.
Oh yeah,
You know.
I'm sure a lot of other people, or a lot of other wrestlers have definitely gotten worse of it, but
Yeah.
I like to look at the positives too, and I think it's actually helped me. And I know that's weird, but
Yeah, I've heard a lot of like I've been listening to a lot of different wrestlers and interviews, especially like that AEW podcast, Unrestricted,
yeah,
and I noticed that a lot of them actually think that the pandemic was good for their careers when it came to like um getting more like screen time, um and like getting a little bit more recognition so they can kind of be in that spotlight a little bit more. So it's
oh
almost
yeah,
like for the majority of all the stuff that's been closing down and stuff has been like negative in that for other businesses and stuff. But it kind of seems like as a wrestler, it closed one door but opened so many others for opportunities to
oh
kind of
for
be
sure, that's
what you
what I
want to be.
think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So I have a couple questions just about some place matches that you've had and stuff like that. Do you have right now a favorite match that you've had?
it's funny. It just released today.
Really?
Uh, I wrestled Mickey Knuckles on January 24th. It is now on IWTV. But that's definitely my favorite match I've had of my whole entire career so far. Um, it was just great, and I believe it brought out of a lot of fire and anger I had inside me, and just finally it finally released,
Yeah.
and a lot of that built up. Yeah.
Which can be
Um,
therapeutic.
yes, very much.
Maybe not for the
But
guy in the ring, but
but yeah, it's awesome. Should check it out. It's on IWTV, Flophouse Wrestling, Private Stash, the January. I think it's the January 16th or 24th, but two of them released today, and it's one of those. And once again, use code Flophouse for 5 days free.
awesome. Cool. Now, I'm sure you've met a decent amount of people, especially you're going to continue to meet people when it comes to professional wrestling. There's so many different um, legends and people just starting, so you get to really meet a whole different breed of people while you travel and
Oh
meet
yeah,
people.
oh
So,
yeah.
um, have you gotten any advice from those people, anybody you've met, and like, what's the something someone told you that really stood out to you?
Um, Something that's really stood out to me. Um, the biggest thing as a wrestler, and if you ever want to become a good wrestler in the locker room, I think etiquette is a big thing. You need to have etiquette to be your professional wrestler, right? The
Hmm.
professional part. I learned a lot of my etiquette from Gideon Malice. He definitely talks really good about etiquette. And honestly, I think that's the biggest advice I got
Hmm.
was just etiquette in general, because there's a lot of wrestlers that I know that don't have very good etiquette.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to me because a lot of it's just common sense, honestly.
Hmm. Yeah.
But despite that, another big advice, I suppose, is just, don't stop and keep going. And like when you think you're at, you're on the lower side of the whatever, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain. It's very hard.
No, you're
But
doing good.
you think, because everyone's going to have that time where every wrestler is going to hate wrestling. It's
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
to happen. I mean, you don't hate it, but like, it's going to feel almost like a chore. And I'm going through that right now. And it really sucks and it really hurts.
Hmm.
But you just don't stop and try and keep going, I guess, and try and do as much research or get in the ring as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean it's important to, especially this, because it's definitely different from any job you could ever like think of.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely understand it being important to have that, keep fueling that fire for this, because that's kind of what you need to
Oh,
continue,
yeah.
is that passion. So not
Like
everybody has that.
you gotta think, like, do you really want this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone's gotta ask that question to themselves, especially if you're down in the dumps and you just don't feel like wrestling. You don't feel like going to the show, right?
Hmm.
But you gotta go. You already made commitments. That's another part of being a professional wrestler.
Yeah,
But also for yourself, if you really want to do this as a career, you really gotta push yourself
yeah.
and
Hmm.
do you.
Yeah. Um. Now, do you have any like stories about, like, I'm sure you've encountered, or maybe not, during some type of show or appearance where something was supposed to happen that didn't? Do you have anything like that happened, and how did you like adapt to what was going on? Or I guess maybe if it was a bigger thing, how multiple people adapt?
um, I'm not sure. Honestly, everything goes wrong in the ring a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, training. I was training, and Alex Garza, I don't know if you know who he is, but
Yeah.
uh, he he was taking an arm drag, and he broke his wrist,
Oh
like
wow.
flat out broke it. I'm sure he'll be happy to show you pictures of it still to this day. Um, but I mean, that's like the biggest thing for me that I saw was the worst. I'm sure as a wrestler in the ring that actually happened to them, they would know more about that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, breaking the wrist and like
Oof.
breaking a bone in front of me, that was very scary.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
that's probably the biggest thing, and it wasn't even like a huge thing because it happens, but I haven't really had a lot of stories for me that stuff didn't go. I mean, it's always
Well, that's
gonna.
good.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get to that point. Like I guess I had a match and it was really bad and it was really rough.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Um,
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't expect every match to be a 5 star, even though that's what you want for
oh
everything.
yeah,
I mean, there's definitely maybe you'll have an off day sometimes, but I mean, it's important to learn from that stuff and
oh yeah, for sure.
going forward. Um,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I think I definitely think it's super cool. I mean, I've seen a couple like pictures and clips on Instagram and stuff of some matches and some moves that you do and stuff like that. I got super super excited and kind of marked out a little bit when I saw that you're a part of the Nomads now.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was definitely life changing. But it's opened a lot of new opportunities for me, and that was part of the reason why I joined them. Great guys.
Yeah, how did that go? I mean, how do you even go about joining them?
Well, it was kind of like, hey, you want to join the Nomads? You're grinding, and we really need another person, and they wanted me, so I was like,
That's cool.
well, or should I not? There's got to be someone to keep the group together and focus. So yes, I said yes
Awesome.
for their own sake and my own sake, and it's been a great journey. So
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be interesting being a part of a team like that. I mean, I don't even know how that dynamic would work. But then again, I'm only just a fan at this point, spectator. But I always think about like I wonder like how that dynamic would work with the team. I mean, have you had any matches with members of the Nomad, or have you just been strictly singles?
not yet. Hopefully soon. I've been wanting to, but I've been mostly singles right now.
Yeah,
Um, just I like to do my own thing
yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's
Um,
that's understandable.
yeah, for sure. So yeah.
Cool, definitely super cool. So now let's jump into the future a little bit. Where are you hoping on like your career ends up going to? I know you said you hope you want to get signed somewhere. What would
Oh yeah.
be almost like your fairy tale ending to pro wrestling? Not. I don't mean your retirement, but I mean,
I know what you mean.
yeah,
Um, I'm not sure. I think, you know, I would love to get signed. Everyone would love to get signed.
yeah, of course,
Um, but at the end of the day, I think if like um you just continue to be an indie wrestler
hmm
because you're happy like that, then that's cool. If you get signed and you're happy, that's cool. It's kind of like one of those things where my fairy tale ending is just me doing what I love to do, whether that be signed or not signed.
yeah, just being a
Um,
wrestler.
oh yes, just being a wrestler and doing my thing. So I guess that's my fairy tale ending.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I definitely think I've watched some match of yours. I saw a live one when you faced Tenchi, and
Oh yeah.
and I definitely like every time I see her, I'm like, yeah, I definitely can see her going somewhere and making a name for herself. I mean, I don't think,
Awesome, thank you.
yeah, I mean, I was a fan the minute that I saw your match. I was like, wow, she's very good. I also really enjoyed when I saw your training videos. You did a Hurricane Rana that I think you called it something else.
Hurricane Hanna.
Yeah, I thought that was clever. I know a friend of mine who he does one, but it's a very he only whips it out once in a while, or is like, oh,
Yeah.
she said she made it look awesome. I'm like, yeah,
I mean,
cool.
it definitely, it looks harder than you think it is,
Oh yeah,
honestly.
yeah, I bet. Yeah. So speaking of moves, do you have like a set finishing and like kind of a finisher slash signature?
Yeah, I do a swinging neck breaker, a running swinging neck breaker. So, I don't really have a name for it right now.
Yeah.
I'm still brainstorming, but it will come to me when I think of it. And I am continuing to learn bigger moves too,
Yeah.
and more moves to incorporate. So we'll see how it all ends. But right now, that's my finisher.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, I definitely enjoy kind of seeing, especially when I see your that merch that you made. That it just gives me like, oh, that'd be cool. One day you get all these different merch designs of people you see people wearing. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I don't know if there's a way that people can get one of those shirts. I just saw it on your Instagram one day, and I remember thinking that was really cool.
So I have plenty of shirts on me physically too. So
Oh,
like
cool.
at a show or you need it shipped, you can always message me, shoot me a message. Or I just opened up a Brainbuster Tees store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just go to Brainbuster Tees and look me up and you can get what I got in there. I got fanny packs, I got a hat, I
Oh,
got a
really?
zip up, got a hoodie, I got a shirt, and I got some stickers on there so far.
I mean, you know you've
Um,
made it when you see somebody wearing your fanny pack at a show.
yes, absolutely. I need to buy one for myself because I
Yeah,
don't have one and I need it.
you're looking at the Rock out
Yes,
there.
I mean, hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. Awesome. So, do you have any dream opponents that you just like? Oh, I have to have a match with them.
Absolutely, who doesn't?
Exactly.
Um, my dream opponent, like independent wrestling, as far is Billy Starks, Alice Crowley. Um, those are like the probably the top two that I would love a match with, and I think would have really good chemistry. Um, but like my ultimate dream match of all time, somehow, some way, Sami Zayn, of course,
Oh yeah,
because
of course.
you've made it. Like, who cares if I'm signed or if I'm still on the independent scene? We'll see how life goes. But if
Yep.
I get a match with Sami Zayn, my favorite wrestler of all time, I know I made it, and I can die easy. I can die happily. I
That's
won't need to
awesome.
do anything else. The end. Um, yeah, I
It's
don't
how
have a lot
easy.
of like, I don't have like a lot of opponents.
Yeah,
Because I'm willing to fight anyone,
exactly.
anywhere, anytime. So hit me up.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. Hit her up if you want a match. I'm just kidding.
Let's go right now. Outside my house.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I think this is about where we can start wrapping up. But thank you so much for doing this and helping us
No
revive
problem.
this WrestleCast. And so, as I know there's a show. I think there's a show coming up for you, right? I just saw it on the TKW Total Chaos Wrestling
Yes. Yep.
Instagram. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So on March 20th in Taylor, Michigan, because they changed the location.
Hmm.
I believe it's Taylor, Michigan now. Um, there will be a lot of matches. Apparently, Madman Fulton is going to be there too, as
Mm,
well.
all
They're
right.
going to crown the first ever women's champion,
That's
which
awesome.
I think will be me, but we'll see.
Well, of course.
Um, so we got a death match tournament as well if you're into that. And we even just got some normal matches like the Nomads are gonna face the Capital Vices.
Oh, your boys.
My boys, I really hope they pull through and get the dub, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for them. I think they'll pull through. But yeah, so the women's gauntlet. It's gonna be a women's gauntlet for the women's
Awesome.
championship. Myself, Jocelyn Navarro, Taryn, Alex Sky will be making her Michigan debut again because she's coming back apparently. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
And who else is in there?
I saw
Um,
Freedom Rams. Oh, he's the champ, isn't he, for TKW?
oh yeah, yes. He is the Total Chaos champion.
He's the person that if I was able to get back into wrestling, I would want to have a match with him. I just think he's so charismatic. I saw him in a tag match, and then I see clips of him all the time. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's cool.
He's definitely he wants that freedom, you know, because he always screams it all the time.
Exactly.
I hope he
Cool.
gets that freedom he's been wanting, so he doesn't have to scream so loud about it.
Yeah.
But
That's
I guess
hilarious.
the only way to shut him up is if you elect him for mayor. So I guess
Oh, well,
hopefully,
maybe that will work. We'll see.
we'll see.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Hannah, for
Of
being
course,
on
no
here.
problem.
Um,
Thank you
every
for having me.
No problem. And hopefully you'll check out some of our stuff when we start uploading. We are hopefully you can keep this WrestleCast going with some new guests. And if you want to see more of this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Click that notification. Um, Hannah, you can find her on Instagram. I don't know if you have any other social medias. I only use Instagram.
Yes, I have Instagram, which is tiny underscore double H. Twitter, the same tiny underscore double H. Facebook, Hannah Henderson. Um, I even got a TikTok.
Oh,
I post random stuff, but I also post some wrestling clips, which is
nice.
exotic beings, because I gotta be edgelord. Um, yeah, so go ahead and check me out. I love my fans, so shoot me a message if you want.
Awesome. Well, this has been a great interview. And everybody, stay safe. Wear your mask. Be
Wash your
smart.
hands.
Wash your hands. And come back and check out Hannah. Check out if you can go to see that show. See her become women's champion. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
And I'll see everybody next time. This has been Omega Mission Wrestling's WrestleCast. WrestleCast.